Welcome to the Play My Kid course, Secrets to Happiness and Success, Life Skills Through Youth Sports. Think about your hopes and dreams when your kids were first born. Think about the family that you expected to have someday. Think about the career they'll build someday. Think about the home that they'll settle into. Perhaps even the impact they'll have on others. Instinctually, as a parent, what you really want is to be proud that with your influence and your examples, they will reflect your ideal self-image, that you've done well for yourself, of course, but now you know all the missteps, the errors, the delays, the wasted time you had, and you can help them avoid these steps, these traps, these missteps, and therefore they must do even better, right? Sure, you may have some biases to the paths they'll take. Now that you have all that experience, you might do even better than your parents did with you. And you'll be proud, and your parents will be proud of their work with you and what you're doing with their grandkids. And there's more. You want your kids to grow up to become independent, of course. You just want them to be able to live on their own someday, free from the limitations that you've had, free from your support. We want them to have a better life and more freedom. That's what we all hope to get. That's all we hope to eventually have our kids grow into, to the point where they can actually create their own life, their own family. Making their own way in the world is key. That's a true sign that as a parent, you've done your job, and that as an adult, you're moving on, that you're going to be able to make your own impact as a parent, and eventually them, when they grow up to be adults, they'll have impact on others. And there's the joke is, okay, start over. You just want them to be independent, free from the limitations you've had, free from your support. You want them to get to the point where they create their own life, their own family, making their own way in the world, making their own impact on others. Get them out of your house, off the books, quote unquote, out of the nest, so that they can make their own decisions, making sure they're free. Freedom is somewhat of a relatively new and unique concept in human history, moving away from the times when family farms and small communities kept families together much, much longer, especially as they got older, even when they started their own families. But freedom now creates so many more opportunities. It is what we all strive for and we all want for our kids someday. So when they started out, you certainly were proud of them, but they're not so independent. Then they challenge your confidence because they're not so independent because they challenge your confidence in parenting. The little things, they go from being very innocent to very challenging at a blink of an eye. They test your patience. They challenge your norms by things like wearing their food more than they are eating it, or climbing around the car, or doing both at the same time. Initially, that can be very frustrating as a parent. Eventually, you learn that it's part of growing up. It's going to happen, and it's really not that big a deal. You can get frustrated. Some parents can get very frustrated that all the behaviors you've learned, the rules you've accepted, are now ripped to shreds now that you are responsible for raising somebody. You are now responsible for teaching a new person by the way, who doesn't even speak the language, how to behave and follow the rules. I came across a proverb, which I think applies to parenting, coaching, sports, and life in general. Knowledge makes humble, ignorance makes proud. So let's break that down a little bit. Let's understand, what are they really saying? The reason I'm proud is because I'm ignorant? That gives a little bit pause to think about. It also means that if we seek more knowledge, we should become more humble. So maybe it's not really that we want to be proud, especially if it leads to ignorance. Plus, pride is just an outcome. What we really want is some knowledge, to share our knowledge so that we can become humble. God, I think that's it. I think. Let's think about that a little bit. Well, okay, we don't have to think about that long. Now let's move on. What's the other thing that we were talking about earlier? Oh yeah, independence. When you realize that you really just want them to be independent, free from limitations, free from your sport, right? You really want them to be on their own, confident and self-sufficient. But one has to wonder, is this what we're witnessing today and experiencing in youth sports? Independence? Clearly, we've all seen, or if I'm being honest, been part of conversations like this. In this case, unless mom is imparting some new scouting information that he really needs to know before he goes to his at-bat, I don't think this looks like the model of happiness and success in life. You can imagine having your mom on the other side of the fence as you go in for your first job interview or your first day at work, or frankly, any day moving forward. Clearly, I'm sure this young ball player is not their first at-bat ever. So Play My Kid is driven to show parents how to change the environment, how to help parents see that youth sports is not really about the trophy. Although it's important to have winners and losers, it's best viewed and best accepted as a tool to learn life skills. And Play My Kid really wants to show parents how can they can keep that focus of life skills, and show parents how can they can teach those lessons without alienating your family as some sort of oddball, as somebody who doesn't care about the wins or the losses or improvements. You can do both. You can still be very competitive, and you can still keep focused on the life skills that your kids are learning, and frankly everybody's learning as they mature and as they age and as they get more experiences. So, I promise some secrets in this video. The secrets are the life skills, right? What are the life skills that we're talking about here? I think they're two goals, and by now you're probably getting a little impatient, but what are they, Kurt? Are they scholarships? Is that really what we're doing all this for? Or someday a professional contract? I think what we really want them to be when they grow up is happy and successful adults. So let's talk about, what does happy really mean? We've got all sorts of synonyms for happy. If you look up at a dictionary, you see these kind of words used in various ways, in various contexts. So what is really the secret? How can I encourage, through youth sports, happiness someday as an adult? What is the secret that nobody else knows? Well, studies have shown that happiness really stems from quality relationships. The kind of relationships that you appreciate like your parents, your best friends, your family, your favorite coach. Those quality relationships that you have are going to teach you and provide the grounding that you need to have a happy adult life. Talking about, again, friends that you build, your life partner that you have, kids that you have, if you're fortunate to have grandkids, or if you can see this in your parents with their grandkids. You can even see it in your professional life. Think about the good conversations, the good interactions you've had with a boss, and sometimes the bad ones. The better you understand those, the better you will be able to adapt to it, the better you'll be able to use them in your life. Think about the same conversations with coworkers or clients that you're serving as a professional. All of those together help you manage and understand the relationships, how relationships can impact your emotional state. It results really in the supports that you want. It can give you the confidence that you need to make the next step forward, to take the next steps, try new things, and to do what needs to be done. At times you're going to need assistance, and those people you have relationships with will be able to give you that assistance. And then we all crave this sense of belonging and community. Can't have that without good quality relationships and being able to understand how to foster those, build them, and maintain them. So Play My Kid is going to give you tips in the context of youth sports about how you can talk with your kids, how you can connect better through youth sports, make it a positive experience, how you talk with your coaches, with your kids' coaches, how you talk with other parents, what kind of conversations, what kind of things can you do to make the experience good for yourself and your kids, your whole family, and for others. How to talk with sports program administrators so that you, instead of just complaining about issues, you're actually making an impact and improving it for the next round. Most sports programs are really driven by volunteers anyway. They need your help just like anybody else. Play My Kid will also give you a place to share your stories, ask your questions with peers, people in the same situation. Perhaps they've run into the scenario that you're struggling with, or maybe you can give them some advice. All in all, it'll help you build some perspective. It'll give you some guidance, give you some tools and the support you need to help you teach your kids how to build relationships and ultimately be successful as they grow into full-grown adults. The other thing we're talking about that is important in youth sports is learning how to be successful. What is successful? We've got all sorts of synonyms for the word successful when you look them up in the dictionary. A lot of different things that, depending on the context, we have different ways we describe being successful. So, what is really the secret? How can, again, through youth sports, how can I encourage success in youth sports so that they learn how to become successful as an adult? The answer? Continuous growth. If you really want to be successful in life or in anything, you need to really learn how to grow and improve at everything you do. And that continuous growth as a process. You need to try new things or things that maybe you're not perfect at. You need to sit back and evaluate, okay, how did that really go? And then be able to look at it in a way that allows you to adjust how you did it the first time and then repeat. This results in less fear of failure, broader experiences, more opportunity, and a much better self-awareness about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Play My Kid is going to help you as a parent understand the tools that you need to allow kids to explore new opportunities, how to teach them how to self-evaluate, how to look at themselves about how they did a task or an activity, and teach them how to adjust. We're going to show you words you can use, conversations you can have every day to help them have new opportunities, build self-awareness, and have the confidence to repeat the process to get better. Please join our community and help us change youth sports. Start with your kid and start now. The longer you wait, the more frustrated you will become, the more frustrated they will become, and the more likely they will drop out of youth sports and miss out on opportunities to build quality relationships and hone the skills of continuous improvement. Moreover, you'll be much better equipped to help your kids navigate and counteract today's hyper-competitive, pressure-filled youth sports scene. They are counting on you to make sure, regardless of their athletic ability, they grow up to become happy and successful adults.